Can Zeke deke again?
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Finds an opening past the 40. Power running by Zeke. A huge play there right off the bat. 71 yards. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Now Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. To throw, it's Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you...
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Oh, he's got Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside to create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's
them.
a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Shotgun now for Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, here's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I don't know what you were seeing on that play, but it felt to me like I wasn't watching a football field. I was watching a boxing ring. He was bobbing and weaving and trying to make sure he kept the play alive. Just didn't turn out well for him in the end, did it?
Impressive that he stayed in the pocket while avoiding those couple of would-be tacklers, but eventually goes down. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Prescott now from the 50. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A first down carry by Elliott. They find some open field here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record. And even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times it's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And that was not the long, drawn-out drive that you were talking about when it started. Anything but.
I saw this drive going a little differently in my mind, partner.
I think we both did, unable to really move it. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Again, this is Kamara, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 1 yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, They're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's Prescott throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A first down throw for Prescott. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Prescott yet again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He finds Coleman. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down, Prescott. And not able to get it that time. He'd hit on 6 straight passes. Not there, 2nd down. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Prescott down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. That's pulled in at the 32. And just shutting him off there. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Eluding the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Prescott off play action. Incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Trying to get it to Landry there, and it's third down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's good.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now flags come in here. Look like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
To throw is Wentz. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17. Working from the gun, Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gibson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. On 1st and 10, Prescott looking left side. That's caught by Landry. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Raekwon McMillan coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He'll air this one toward Coleman. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback.
Well, had to get it out quickly, but it's blocked. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Prescott on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing. Prescott. Throw left side complete. It's Watkins. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
2nd down, Prescott. And his throw here is incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target. 3rd down here. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On second down, Prescott again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Coleman. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And again, it's Prescott. Escapes the sack. Oh, Prescott stripped. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a 3rd down. To throw, it's Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Prescott to throw this time. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They are just obviously here in this one, Charles. What's Wentz now on first down. Ertz has it left side. And now running right through it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mac Hollins, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And he's got this down to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing on first is Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
But no reason for that from any wide receiver.
Oftentimes, you don't even hear the snap count, right? You just look inside, make sure the ball moves, then you take off. How he didn't do that is beyond me.
Again, it's Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get the penalty yardage back, plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5. So Charles are able to complete what's so